The Cincinnati Bengals played a game on Sunday that they normally would have lost, but they didn't. They won it. They gutted it out. They played a football team more that gritty, that wins those tough, close games instead of relying on 20-point leads without the pressure of a fourth quarter comeback from the opposing team, which is historically a serious concern. But yet, this iteration of Marvin Lewis's third squad, third roster building is just different. These guys take deficits into the fourth quarter, and then they can rebound. I mean, they haven't always. They've lost games that they, especially to better teams in the fourth quarter. But in this one, they took a 10-13 deficit into the fourth quarter, and that's when Andy Dalton, AJ Green, and specifically Ben Jarvis Green-Ellis, who ran for over 100 yards for the third time in a row, took over. They pushed the football on a 10-play drive, got back into the red zone, and Andy Dalton scanned the field, looked around, and he ran into the end zone for a touchdown, taking a 17-13 lead midway through the fourth quarter. And Carlos Dunlap said, "Hey, yo, I want to get into this, yo." So he did. He sacked Phillip Rivers, forced a fumble, picked up the fumble, and the Bengals extended their 4-point lead, 20-13, which is actually the game in which it ended. But then the Chargers came back. I mean, they didn't come back score-wise, mind you. This is the final score we've already talked about, as I said already. But they came back. They pushed down the field, taking chunk yardage, 14 yards here, 10 yards there, whatever. And by within a minute or so, less than a minute, they were within the red zone. So the Bengals had to step up. They did. They forced 3 straight incompletes, largely thanks to some overthrows, just bad throws by Rivers, setting up a fourth down that Reggie Nelson intercepts, wins the game, touchback, victory formation, and we go home as victors. So the Bengals are 7-5 now. They head into next week facing the Dallas Cowboys at home, a game that's already sold out, so we don't have to worry about that one. But however, the Pittsburgh Steelers already won. The Indianapolis Colts barely won, even though I announced on Twitter that they did lose, and everybody's like, "Well, it's not over yet." And I was like, "Okay, well, whatever. They're gonna lose anyway. Whatever. Well, they won." And it pretty much is setting up for a stage for a 3-team race fighting for 2 wild card spots. Now, there is the possibility, at least the vague familiarity of, sniffing something that's just out of reach, is the Bengals could have a chance for that division title. Okay. All right. It's going to be a little tough. They have to win out, which is entirely possible. But they have to win out, and the Ravens have to lose 3 of the next 4. I mean, that's the only shot they have. The Bengals, because of all the tiebreakers, the Bengals have to win out and have a better record than the Ravens at the end of the year. It's possible, but it's a little improbable. They have a tough schedule still, the Ravens. And the Bengals have Cowboys, Eagles, Steelers, and Ravens also. So it's entirely possible, but I'm expecting and I'm banking on the fact that the Bengals will fight for one of those 3 or the 2 wild card positions towards the end of the year.